Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here of ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are reviewing the Toony Terrors Series 7 figures from NECA Toys. Big shout out and thank you to site sponsor Entertainment Earth for sending these along for review. It's greatly appreciated. Use our links for 10% off in stock and $59 plus free USA shipping. The link is right in the YouTube description, and you can find hyperlinks off of ToyHypeUSA.com. This wave includes 4 figures: Shorty from Killer Klowns from the 80s, the male alien from the film They Live, also from the 80s, Scott Howard from Teen Wolf from the 80s, Michael J. Fox, and you have Ghouliana, which is making her debut as an action figure. She is from a coloring book. The figures come in on a blister card, which you see here with the Toony Terrors artwork above them, and their name also below them. What they're based off of are also on the top here: Killer Klowns, They Live, Teen Wolf, and Beauty Horror. All 4, which you see here. Let's just take a closer look at that. There's Killer Klowns, They Live, Teen Wolf, and Beauty Horror. Also on the back, you have some very nicely done artwork here. And the rest of them you can use as a diorama for your figures. That's the locker room, the obey sign from They Live, and Killer Klowns, which you see here. This is just an alleyway with a bike and a garbage can. So I'm going to open these up and let's take a closer look. Here's your in-hand look at the set. Let's really call this a 5-figure set, as the Killer Clown comes with an accessory, which is actually an additional character, which you see here. Let's start things off with Shorty from Killer Klowns from Outer Space. This is actually my favorite set of this entire wave. Shorty comes in a yellow outfit with a purple and green star right there on the chest. A teal boots. He's got this teal piece around his neck with red, I guess you would call them beads or something. Red boxing gloves, red stripes on the shoulders. Here's a look at the back. The back is plain, but you have that detail up there. Closer look at the head sculpt. Just as you remember from the 2-pack, which I reviewed a few weeks ago, which features Slim and Chubby. Facial details are very similar to those 2 guys, with the red nose and the white deco, red lips. He's got red circles on the cheeks there, green hair, which is also very nicely done, blue around the eyes, then pink around the eyes, a black pupil as well. Let's take a look at the back, closer look at the hair. A lot of nicely done sculpting back there. For articulation, since this is Toony Terrors, he only has a couple of points, which includes a ball-jointed head, full range of motion there, swivel shoulders, as you see here, and no articulation on the feet. He also includes a black base to help him stand, which you see right there. The clown popcorn alien is a bonus for the set, and I really love that we get an additional character along with Shorty. This guy comes with 2 heads, a long neck, and the long neck is bendy, so you can move these guys around further apart. As shown like that. You can move them together. So there's a lot of different ways to pose this figure. He comes sticking out of a popcorn base, which you see here. The base doesn't really look like popcorn to me, but it's more like maybe butter popcorn. The butter is covering the popcorn. Let's call it that. The bucket itself is white with red stripes. There's also a base on the bottom to help it stand. You can take that off as shown, stick it back on. Head sculpts on these guys, very nicely done. Looks great. Great homage to the film. Sharp teeth that go in many different directions. The eyes are closed, which is interesting. I forget why that is. Red nose, 2 color hairs. So you got the pink hair and you got the green hair. Blue eyelashes right there on top. Let's take a look at the back of the heads. Here's a comparison with Slim and Chubby from the 2-pack that has been recently released. I recently reviewed this 2-pack, so just wanted to show you guys what the 3 clowns plus the popcorn bucket with the 2 heads sticking out looks like. As you can see, all 3 have a very distinct likeness inspired from the film, and NECA has really done a fantastic job on the Toony Terrors line. I think Killer Klowns is really a perfect example of this particular style. These are scary looking alien clowns. However, Toony Terrors gives you a bit of a more friendly appearance. Think Saturday morning cartoon wise. This style works very well for this franchise. And I, for one, hope to see more clowns. 3 are not enough for me. I want to see more. In the film, they've shown many more than 3. I forget how many in particular, but that spaceship had a ton of clowns on there. I, for one, really hope to see more clowns. And let's take a look at the male alien from They Live. Here's a look at the male alien from They Live. He comes in a black suit, a white undershirt, a blue tie with a white and red stripe. The green skin tone is how he looks in his alien form. Keep in mind that they look just like us in the film, and the only way to tell them apart is through these special sunglasses that you can wear. But this is what this alien race looks like. He also has brown hair, which is sculpted on top. The figure has a little bit of trouble standing up on his own, so you're going to have to position the feet just right. Move them a little bit. I really wish he came with a figure base, because he does have a hole on the bottom of his feet. Maybe that was the original intention and they took that accessory away. I'm not really sure why he doesn't come with a base, but I kind of wish he did. I got him to stand up fairly okay, how he is now, so it's not the end of the world. Facial details, very nicely done on him. He's got that great alien likeness from the film there with the eyes that are just weird looking, as well as the mouth, the chin, other alien characteristics from the film. And you also see those characteristics on the hands, especially on tops of the hands here. Only a few points of articulation for this figure, which includes a ball-jointed head sculpt, minimal range of motion. He has these swivel shoulders, which you see here, swivel wrists, and it's the same on the other side. For the ankles, these swivel as well. And again, this is, if you position him just right, you're going to be able to get him to stand up on his own. And if you don't, he will fall over. So just be aware of that. Here's a closer look at the male alien. He comes in a black suit with a white undershirt. Also, the tie is given blue stripes. You have white stripes and thinner red stripes there. Skin tone is blue, which is a light blue, as you will recall from the film. This is what the species actually looks like. They are disguised as us, and the only way to tell who is who, just look through a pair of special sunglasses where wrestling's Rowdy Roddy Piper gets his hands on them, and the movie takes off basically from there. It's a great film, highly recommended. He comes in dark brown hair as well, black shoes. Here is a look at the back of the figure. Getting him to stand without the use of a figure base can be a little tricky. He has swivel ankles, so you have to position the feet just right. Let's take a closer look at those great head sculpt details here. The eyes, the mouth. This is just really phenomenally done. Likeness-wise, works out very well. He comes with this brochure or newspaper, I'm not sure which gives subliminal messaging to stay asleep, and the other side says obey. You can open it up, and it says to watch TV and no imagination. He has more points of articulation compared to Shorty from Killer Klowns, and includes a ball-jointed head, somewhat limited range of motion, unfortunately, swivel shoulders, swivel wrists, and that's how it is on the other side as well. Once again, the ankles are also on a swivel joint, so you're going to have to position them just right to get him to stand up on his own. The wider they are apart, the better, as I've found. Here's another look at the figure, this time with the brochure on the floor there. Ghouliana is making her debut as an action figure and is inspired from the Beauty of Horror coloring book. The figure comes in a bright blue dress and some yellow wings, which you see there. The details on this are just phenomenal, especially on the head sculpt. She is positioned as though she is a ballerina on a stand. The base is black and it has the Beauty of Horror logo, which you see right there. The feet have pegs on the bottom, so you're just going to push them right through on the stand. She can't stand without this base, so it's definitely required. She stands on it. The dress also has a blue belt with a yellow belt buckle, which is pretty small. Here's a closer look at that. The details on the outfit are very nicely done. The dress has these tears right on the edges. Let's take a look at the back. You see the wings on the dress there. Nicely done details. Obviously, the head sculpt has the most details there, and that is just phenomenally done. Bow tie on top with a skull right there in the middle. The head sculpt has lumps, which you see here, and it looks like it's stitched, holding basically the face into place. That is a beautiful, horrific head sculpt for sure. Her hands also have lumps, which you see here, and as well as the other side, and also on the legs. Her legs are stitched, that's basically holding them together, which you see on both of them there. The hair is black and sculpted, very nicely done. Here's a look at the back of the hair one last time. The teeth are also sharp, so if she bites you, it looks like it'll hurt pretty much. The eyes, doesn't really look like she has eyes, but she has those circles right in where the eyes should be. That's very nicely done as far as the details. And you see some details on her neck. That same stitching sculpt is right there on the neck, looking like it's basically what's holding her head up. One last detail about her is that her eyes are glow in the dark. So if you turn the light off, the eyes will light up. Hopefully you guys saw that. And it looked like it worked. So you saw how they light up in the dark. That's a very nice detail, which I don't believe that was announced. So that was a great surprise to me. Overall, she's a great figure and a great addition to the line. Last but not least is Scott Howard from the 80s teen flick Teen Wolf, starring Michael J. Fox as a werewolf playing high school basketball. He comes in his basketball jersey here, which is blue and kind of like a mustard color. He also has light gray pants, white shoes, and he can hold his basketball, which is removable. Here's a look at the back of the figure. Getting him to stand on his own can be a little bit difficult. He doesn't have a black base to help him stand, but there is a hole right on the bottom of his foot, which you see there. I kind of wish he did come with that base. Head sculpt on him, he looks phenomenal. You see the bee is sculpted right there on the jacket. You also see his undershirt there, which is yellow. The head sculpt includes headphones, which are now removable, black glasses, which are also not removable, but he does have his fangs, which you see here, and all that sculpted hair, which is just phenomenal. You also see the wolf details right on the hand, some hair sticking out there, somewhat long fingernails here, and you also see it on this other hand here. As I said, the basketball is removable, and the attention to detail on this is very nicely done. Looks like an actual basketball. And finally, Ghouliana's articulation, which includes a ball-jointed head. She's got good range of motion there. She has swivel shoulders. The arms can't move forward because the wings get in the way of the skirt there. And that is it as far as articulation. So she only has those 3 points. For articulation, Scott Howard has a few key points, which includes a ball-jointed head, very limited range of motion, unfortunately. Swivel shoulders. You can move shoulders up and down as shown. That has a full range of motion. And the ankles can move basically on a swivel joint. Just make sure when you put it back down, you position them just right so he can stand back up as shown. Overall, this is a fun assortment of characters. I think NECA's team has done a great job deciding which characters to put in the Toony Terrors line, and my recommendation would be to pick them up. You can do so right now on site sponsor Entertainment Earth, 10% off in stock and free USA shipping on orders $59 plus. Just use the link right in the YouTube description or hyperlinks off of toyhypeusa.com. Thanks again to Entertainment Earth for sending along for a review. It's greatly appreciated. I am Anthony Scott at toyhypeusa.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more reviews.